Good morning, beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. Welcome to Why I Like World War II. Today's reason of why I like World War II is because all of the deaths are very fair. Now, I know I say that and you automatically jump to as many deaths as you can think of that were unfair, where you shot the guy enough, where he quickscoped you, and all that sort of good stuff. Now, I understand that. However, the amount of stuff that is not within this game is so great. I know that seems really weird to say, to like a game for what's not in it, but there has been a lot of just bullcrap things that we've had to deal with in Call of Duty, and I'm so happy that this game, that Sledgehammer, was smart enough to really well balance a lot of these things. And this is why I think World War II is critically underrated, because while World War II has a lot of great innovations like the headquarters and the war game mode, which are absolutely fantastic, a lot of people dismiss those, saying that, those don't really count. I think those do count as innovations, but what I like on top of those innovations is the refinement that Sledgehammer has given us in terms of gameplay and balance. If there's one thing in World War II that people just love to overlook, it's the fact that there's not a whole lot of stuff in World War II that will randomly and unfairly just kill you. There is no frag times 3. There is no super overpowered MP40 or BAL or ASM1. There is no unbalanced perks like Juggernog and Stopping Power. There's no unbalanced death streaks or perks like Last Stand. There's no commando in this game. There are no noob tubes in this game. The explosives in this game actually suck. If you die from an explosive, or not an explosive, if you die from a launcher, you kind of suck, and they kind of outskilled you there. It's pretty fair. There's no danger close or one-man army in this game. There is no stupid support streaks like EMPs and stealth bombers. There's no death streaks like I mentioned, like Dead Man's Hand. Dead Man's Hand was implemented into a kind of recent Call of Duty. It just blows my mind. There's no target finder LMGs. There are no oracles. There's no squad mates. There's no IEDs or guard dogs. And some of my favorite things, and some of the things that I'm going to spend a little more time talking about, is the fact that there are no specialists. Oh, I'm so happy. Specialists, I thought, were going to plague the Call of Duty franchise. I am just giddy with excitement because of the fact that specialists are not in this game. In Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare, I really despised specialists because it was a free kill streak. It was just free to any sort of player, and it was completely random within a game. You couldn't tell if somebody had it or if they didn't have it. Sure, you can look at their character model, but that's not a balancing factor. That's just random to me. You know, if someone comes around the corner with their purifier, it doesn't matter that I recognize that they have the purifier. They're still going to one-hit me. It was one of those things that I absolutely despised, and I couldn't wrap my brain around why the community was just okay with them. Because back in Modern Warfare 3 and in Ghost, everybody hated support kill streaks. I was the one kind of promoting support kill streaks, saying if they were balanced properly, that would be amazing. And I'm waiting for my video to come out to say what I would do with the support kill streak system in the perfect ideal world, but everyone just dismissed them right away. But then Treyarch releases the same system. You get points towards a score and you get your specialist ability, except the fact that instead of having like ballistic vests and UAVs and cool stuff like ammo, freaking the Night Owl, instead of having cool stuff like that, you automatically have the stealth bomber, you automatically have the EMP, you have a flamethrower that'll one-hit people, you have a gravity spike that'll randomly destroy 4 people on the B flag for no reason, for no skill. People are complaining about requisitions. Where is this outrage with the specialists' abilities? It doesn't make any sense to me. I am beyond happy. I am so satisfied by the fact that these are not included in the game. It's saying, nope, we want to represent skill. We want to test out the skill of players. People criticize the sprint out times because they want to lower the skill gap and punish the good players. Well, where was that outrage with the specialist's abilities? Because those directly are put in the game solely for the purpose of catering to the new players and actively lowering the skill gap. That was blatant. That wasn't a design choice. That was a blatant choice to cater to the new players. Man, I'm beyond happy they're not in this game. Oh. Another reason that I'm happy with this game is it's gonna sound like a cop-out answer, but it really does like warm my heart to think about. And the fact that this doesn't have any boost jumps or jetpacks. This is a boots on the ground Call of Duty. There is just a certain preference for skill, or not even, well, I guess it is skill. There's a preference for playstyle and a preference for a style of skill that is very much altered when we implement jetpacks and boost jumping. The skill it takes to be successful in Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare, it may be similar in terms of map flow and spawn knowledge, but when it comes to gunfights and that sort of thing, gunfights and flow to a map, it's completely different with and without boost jumps and jetpacks. When the first couple of weeks that I was playing the beta and I was playing the actual game, I just had a dumb smile on my face because there were times when I would see somebody and they would be running towards a direction and I would kind of cut them off or, run around them, flank around them, do whatever. And I would kill them and I would just smile. Now it seems really kind of minuscule now because we're used to it, but you couldn't do that in Infinite Warfare. You couldn't do that in Black Ops 3 because if they saw you, they would just like jump 50 feet into the air and then it would be kind of a randomish gunfight unless you were like super good on the stick, which is a skill, absolutely, but the tactics of outsmarting your enemy and winning the gunfight before it happens is now back in World War II, and I absolutely adore that. People are going to say that it promotes camping and all that stuff. It really doesn't. It just promotes awareness and anticipation and outsmarting your enemies and winning the gunfights before they actually happen. World War II might not be the most innovative Call of Duty there ever has been, but it doesn't need to be, in my opinion. Throughout the years, we've gotten a whole bunch of Call of Duties with a whole bunch of glaring issues and game-breaking issues, like the ones I've mentioned before, and it is completely refreshing that I can go into a Call of Duty and just play it and have every death seem fair. Even the netcode and the hit detection, 95% of the time, is really good for me. I play on PC and I don't know if it's just, if it's the new refresh rate. I don't know if it's of the servers. I don't know if it's my connection is being better on PC, but 95% of the time I feel like my bullets are landing and I feel like I'm taking the right amount of damage, and I feel like I can tell if I'm going to be able to run away from a gunfight or if I'm going to win the gunfight. And I know there are certain things that could be better about this game. Some weapons could be buffed, some weapons might need a nerf. I don't think there's any weapons that really need a nerf. There's some weapons that feel a little cheap. I feel like quickscoping was very cheap there for a little bit, but I feel like it's in a really decent spot as it is right now. And I know people have their things that they don't like, their deaths that they feel are unfair, but generally speaking, I feel like this is one of the most refined Call of Duties we've ever had, and people generally don't like the refined Call of Duties right away. People tend to have an acquired taste for them. I mean, Black Ops 1 doesn't really innovate all that much from Modern Warfare 2. However, people love Black Ops 1 because it's a very solid and decently refined game. There's still some things that are not refined in there, like the stopping power, or no, not that, but the final stand, the last stand perk, and the hit detection, that stuff is a little bit iffy. But generally speaking, Black Ops 1 is a decently balanced Call of Duty, and people go back to that Call of Duty and enjoy that because it's so refined, and I feel like World War II is going to have that same effect. Just playing World War II, when I get upset, it's not because of any one particular thing. I never find myself in that situation like I did in Ghosts and Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2, where I'm like, if they just fixed this thing, this game would be so much better. There's not that one kill streak, there's not that one perk, there's not that one game dynamic that is breaking the game in World War II. And that's awesome. When I rage at this game, It's not at any one particular thing, it's mostly because I suck, or I'm coming up against a hacker on PC, but that's a different topic for a different day, and it's really not as common as people would like you to believe. But anyway, that's all I have time for you guys today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you like the refined nature of World War II, or do you crave innovation? For me, after the past 3 years of boost jumping specialists, I am just beyond happy that we have a modern not a modern era Call of Duty, but we have a modern Call of Duty set in World War II with great graphics and well-refined mechanics. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until the next absolutely beautiful Call of Duty morning, I'll catch up with you guys later. And as always, stay beautiful.